Amy Leah Carlson was the leader of a cult called Love Has Won. Carlson called herself Mother God and proclaimed to have been reincarnated countless times.
Foul play is not suspected in their leader's death. She was said to be a heavy drinker and also a drug user. You may have seen her on the Dr. Phil Show.
Now, you have 3 children, correct?
Yes, I do.
And you left those children when they were 2, 7, and 12, and just up and left them, but yet you call yourself Mother God. How do you explain abandoning your children?
For me, I did not abandon my children. I begged my angels I didn't want to leave. And they told me I had to go on mission. If I didn't do it, then no one else would. And I had to make a jump, and I had to make a decision.
So just a higher calling.
Yes, absolutely.
A higher
so
calling.
I gave over all the papers to their fathers and said, thank you for taking care of our children. I appreciate it. And I left on mission. Did my heart break every day for about a year? Yes.
So she came across to me as deeply narcissistic, completely self-obsessed, little, if any, empathy or sympathy for anyone. And what we saw from videos and accounts of her behavior is that she was horribly abusive to her followers and to children that were in the group. And of course, there were two minor children who were rescued by Child Protective Services that were with the group and the dead body when the police raided the group's building.
You know, I thought it was interesting that we had the opportunity to actually see some video shot inside their dwelling. And you remember that a young child that wasn't complying with her commands, she banished to a closet, a dark closet where this child was imprisoned, essentially, shut up in this closet, which I thought was horrifically abusive.
Time out.
You got the timer, 2 minutes?
Yeah, I got it.
I'm sorry, I need you to help me with that.
What was happening in that group dynamic is that these children came to see me, and in their environment, they were very dysfunctional. They hadn't been disciplined, and I feel that's, the majority of humanity hasn't had discipline, and children have to have boundaries.
But the fact that I'm looking at 5 or 6 or 7 adults in the room, and not one person in the room has the backbone to stand up and say, this is not okay. You're not going to bully and abuse this child and traumatize them by putting them in a closet with a closed door like this.
What we were doing is experimenting. They weren't locked in a closet. They were put in timeout, Dr. Phil.
In a closet?
Yeah.
With a closed door?
Well, they were in dark so that they could focus and center on themselves. And we put an adult there with them.
There was an adult in the closet?
Of course.
I don't believe that. Of course, having never sat with her and completed a diagnostic process with her, I can't render a diagnosis.
Hey, stop it. Stop being a bitch.
She was arguing with a cat and disciplining a cat, for God's sakes.
You wanna run? Oh yeah, that's the greatest thing that I can do is I can run. You're stupid.
I can tell you on my short list of considerations would be that of malignant narcissist. And for people at home, there are different types of narcissism. There's kind of the general narcissist that's got all the grandiose sort of entitlement, lack of empathy, etc. And then there's the malignant narcissist, and they have all of the traits of the general narcissist, but they're mean, they're vicious, they hurt people on purpose, and they get pleasure from doing so and think they're entitled to do so. And it was that kind of behavior that really worried me about this Amy Carlson that considered herself Mother God. Do you have a story or a question for me? Click the link in the description and tell me what in the world is going on.